Hello, everyone! Welcome back to English Conversation Amelia. Today, we're diving into something absolutely game-changing. 100 common daily use English sentences in question and answer format that will transform how you communicate in real life. And trust me, by the end of this conversation, you'll have practical examples you can use immediately in your workplace, at home, with friends, and even while traveling. Hi, Amelia. I'm so ready for this because honestly, I've been studying English for years, but still freeze up when someone asks me simple questions in real situations. Oh, I completely understand that feeling. You know what's funny? Most learners know thousands of words, but struggle with basic everyday conversations because textbooks don't always teach us how real people actually talk. Exactly. So, where should we start? What are the most essential question-answer patterns I need to know? Let's begin with morning routines, because that's where every day starts. Imagine you're living with an English-speaking roommate or staying with a host family. The first question you'll probably hear is, "Did you sleep well?" How would you answer that? I'd probably just say, "Yes, thank you," but that sounds kind of boring, doesn't it? It's not wrong, but let me give you better options. You could say, "Yes, I slept like a log," which means you slept very deeply. Or, "Not really, I tossed and turned all night," which means you couldn't sleep well. Oh, wow! Slept like a log. I've never heard that expression before. That's so much more natural than just saying, "I slept well." Yes! And here's another common morning question. What would you like for breakfast? Now, how many different ways can you answer this?
I usually just say toast is fine, but I feel like I'm missing so many options to sound more fluent.
Perfect example. Instead, try, "I'll just grab a quick bite," or "I'm not much of a breakfast person," or "Whatever you're having is fine with me." These sound so much more natural in daily conversation.
This is already helping. What about when I get to work or school? What questions come up there?
Great question. The most common one is, "How was your commute?" or "Did you hit traffic?" Now, think about your answer. Don't just say yes or no.
Right. So I could say the traffic was bumper to bumper, or it was smooth sailing today?
Exactly. You're getting it. Bumper to bumper means very heavy traffic, and smooth sailing means everything went easily. These expressions make you sound like a native speaker.
I love these. What about when colleagues ask, "Do you want to grab coffee?" I always feel awkward responding to invitations.
Oh, this is such an important one. You have so many options here. You can say, "I'd love to," or "Sounds good to me." Or if you're busy, "I wish I could, but I'm swamped right now." That means you're very busy.
These are golden. What about questions related to work tasks? Like when my boss asks, "Can you finish this by Friday?"
Workplace questions. Super important. Never just say yes or no to your boss. Try, "I'll do my best to meet that deadline." Or, "That should be doable." Or, "Honestly, that's a tight deadline, but I'll make it work."
That sounds so professional. Much better than my usual nervous, "Okay, yes, sure."
Exactly. And what about when someone asks, "How's the project coming along?" This is asked constantly in offices.
I usually panic and just say, good, even when it's not going well.
You're not alone. Better responses would be, "We're making good progress," or "We've hit a few snags, but nothing major." A snag is a small problem. Or, "We're right on track."
What about lunch break conversations? People always ask, "Where do you want to eat?" And I never know how to suggest something without sounding pushy.
Perfect timing for this. You can say, "I'm easy," which means you're flexible, or "I'm craving something spicy," or "I'm in the mood for Italian," or even "You pick. I'm not picky."
These are so practical. What about dietary restrictions? Someone might ask, "Do you eat meat?" Or "Are you allergic to anything?"
Crucial questions. You could respond, "I'm vegetarian," or "I'm trying to cut down on red meat," or "I'm lactose intolerant, so no dairy for me," or
I'll eat pretty much anything. This is incredibly useful. What about social situations after work? Like when someone asks, want to join us for drinks?
Social invitations are tricky. You can accept by saying, count me in, or I'm down for that, or decline politely with, I'd love to, but I have plans, or maybe next time, I'm beat. Beat means very tired.
Count me in. I love that. What about weekend plans? People always ask, what are you doing this weekend?
Yes, classic question. Instead of just saying nothing, try not much, just taking it easy. Or I'm planning to catch up on some Netflix. Or I've got a packed weekend ahead. Or still figuring it out. These sound so much more engaging. What about when people ask about hobbies? Like, what do you do for fun? Important for building relationships. You might say, I'm really into photography. Or I like to unwind by reading. Or I'm a bit of a foodie. That means you love trying different foods. Or I'm not much of an outdoors person. What about questions about hometown or background? Foreigners always ask me, where are you from? Geography questions are great conversation starters. Follow up your answer with details. I'm from Tokyo. It's in the eastern part of Japan. Or I'm originally from Mexico, but I've been here for 5 years now. Adding that extra detail really keeps the conversation going. What about when they ask, what's it like there? Excellent follow-up question. You could say, it's pretty crowded, but very convenient. Or the weather is amazing year-round. Or the food scene is incredible. Or it's a bit quieter than here. I'm learning so much. What about shopping situations? When a salesperson asks, can I help you find something? Retail questions. You can say, I'm just browsing, thanks. Or actually, yes, I'm looking for a birthday gift. Or do you have this in a different size? Or I'm just looking around. And when they ask, how does it fit in the fitting room? Great question. Try, it's a bit snug, which means tight. Or it's too loose around the waist. Or the length is perfect. Or do you have this in a smaller size?
What about restaurant situations? The waiter asks, are you ready to order? But I'm not sure how to ask for more time.
Restaurant English is essential. Say, could we have a few more minutes? Or we need a bit more time. Or actually, yes, I'll have the salmon. Or what do you recommend?
And when they ask, how is everything while you're eating?
Simple but important. Everything's delicious. Or it's really good, thanks. Or if there's a problem, actually, this is a bit cold. Could you warm it up?
What about when the bill comes and they ask, together or separate?
The dreaded bill question. Say, together, please. Or separate checks, please. Or we'll split it. Very common phrase. Or I've got this when you're treating someone.
These are situations I face every week. What about phone conversations? When someone calls and asks, is this a good time?
Phone etiquette is crucial. Respond with, sure, what's up? Or actually, can I call you back in 10 minutes? Or perfect timing, I just finished a meeting. Or make it quick, I'm about to head into something.
What about when I don't understand something and someone asks, does that make sense?
Don't be afraid to ask for clarification. Say, not quite. Could you explain that again? Or, I'm following you so far. Or, wait, I got lost at the part about crystal clear. Thanks.
What about expressing opinions? When someone asks, what do you think about this idea?
Opinion questions need tactful answers. Try, I think it has potential. Or, I'm not sure I'm on board with that. Or, that's an interesting approach. Or, I see where you're going with this.
What about when someone asks for a favor? Like, could you do me a favor?
Favor requests. Respond with, sure, what do you need? Or, depends on what it is, with a smile. Or, I'll try my best. Or, if you can't, I wish I could help, but I'm tied up right now.
What about when someone asks a health-related question? When someone asks, are you feeling okay because I look tired or sick?
Health check-ins are caring gestures. Say, just a bit under the weather, which means slightly sick. Or, I'm fighting off a cold. Or, just didn't sleep well last night. Or, I'm feeling much better now. Thanks for asking.
What about when a doctor asks, what seems to be the problem? I always struggle at medical appointments.
Medical English is important. Be specific. I've had this headache for 3 days. Or, my throat's been sore since yesterday. Or, I think I twisted my ankle. Or, I've been feeling dizzy lately.
What about at the pharmacy when they ask, have you taken this medication before?
Pharmacy questions need clear answers. Yes, I've taken it before. Or, no, this is my first time. Or, I'm not sure. What's it for? Or, is it safe to take with my other medications?
What about gym or fitness situations? When someone asks, do you work out?
Fitness conversations. I try to hit the gym a few times a week. Or, I'm more of a yoga person. Or, I've been meaning to start. Or, I prefer outdoor activities like hiking through hiking.
What about when a trainer asks, how many reps can you do? And I have no idea.
Gym terminology. Say, I'm not sure, I'm pretty new to this. Or, let's start light and see how it goes. Or, I could probably do 10. Or, what do you suggest for beginners?
What about technology problems? When IT asks, what error message are you getting?
Tech support conversations. Be descriptive. It says, file not found. Or, the screen just froze. Or, I'm not getting any error message. It just won't open. Or, let me read exactly what it says.
What about banking situations? When the teller asks, how would you like your cash?
Banking language. Respond with, in 20s, please. Or, could I get some small bills? Or, however you have it is fine. Or, do you have any 50s?
What about housing questions? When a landlord asks, when can you move in?
Rental conversations. Say, as soon as possible. Or, the first of next month would work best. Or, I need to give my current place 30 days notice. Or, is there any flexibility on the move-in date?
What about neighborly conversations? When a neighbor asks, could you keep it down a bit?
Neighbor relations. Respond politely. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. Or, of course, my apologies. Or, we'll keep it down. Or, thanks for letting me know.
What about party invitations? When someone asks, can you make it to my party?
Social invitations. Except with, I wouldn't miss it. Or, I'll be there with bells on, which means definitely. Or, decline with, I'd love to, but I already have plans. Or, can I let you know closer to the date?
What about when you're at a party and the host asks, can I get you anything?
Host interactions. Say, I'm good for now, thanks. Or, water would be great. Or, whatever you're having. Or, could I trouble you for a glass of wine?
Oh, what about meeting new people? When someone asks, what do you do? Meaning your job.
Career questions. Be conversational. I work in marketing. Or, I'm a software developer. Or, I'm between jobs right now. Or, I'm a student studying economics.
What about when they follow up with, how do you like it?
Job satisfaction questions. Try, it has its ups and downs. Or, I love what I do. Or, it pays the bills. Or, it's challenging but rewarding.
What about family questions? When someone asks, do you have any siblings?
Family talk. Respond with, I'm an only child. Or, I have 2 sisters. Or, I'm the youngest of 4. Or, it's just me and my brother.
What about relationship questions? When someone asks, are you seeing anyone?
Dating questions can be personal. Keep it light. I'm single at the moment. Or, I'm actually in a relationship. Or, I'm happily married. Or, not looking for anything serious right now.
What about when friends set you up and ask, so how did the date go?
Post-date debriefs. Say, it went really well, actually. Or, there wasn't really a spark. Or,
I think we're better as friends. Or we're going out again next week.
What about transportation? When a taxi driver asks, where to?
Navigation questions. Be clear. 123 Main Street, please. Or the airport, international terminal. Or do you know where City Hall is? Or I'll give you directions as we go.
What about when they ask, is this route okay? When there's traffic.
Route decisions. Say, whatever's fastest. Or, I trust your judgment. Or, actually, can we avoid the highway? Or, I'm not in a rush. The scenic route is fine.
What about hotel check-ins? When they ask, do you have a reservation?
Hotel language. Respond with, yes, under the name Smith. Or, I booked online. Confirmation number is... Or, no, do you have any rooms available? Or, I'm checking in early. Is my room ready?
What about when they ask, will you need help with your luggage?
Service questions. Say, that would be great, thanks. Or, I can manage, but thank you. Or, just this heavy one, please. Or, could someone bring it up in a few minutes?
What about weather small talk? Everyone asks, nice weather we're having, isn't it?
Weather talk is universal. Agree with beautiful day. Or disagree politely with a bit too hot for my liking. Or add perfect weather for a walk. Or makes you want to stay indoors.
What about when someone asks, have you seen the forecast before weekend plans?
Weather planning. Say, supposed to rain all weekend. Or, it's looking good for Saturday. Or, I haven't checked. Should I? Or, they're calling for thunderstorms.
What about sports conversations? When someone asks, did you catch the game last night?
Sports talk. Even if you didn't watch, engage. No? Who won? Or, I saw the highlights. Or, I'm not really into sports. Or, yeah, what a finish.
What about when they ask, do you follow any teams?
Team loyalty questions. Say, I'm a huge Lakers fan. Or, I don't really follow basketball. Or, I'm more into soccer. Or, I watch casually but don't have a favorite team.
What about movie conversations? Have you seen the new Marvel movie?
Entertainment talk. Respond with, not yet, no spoilers. Or, yes, what did you think? Or, I'm waiting for it to stream. Or, I'm not really into superhero movies.
What about book recommendations? What are you reading these days?
Literary conversations. Try, I just finished this amazing thriller. Or, I'm in between books right now. Or, I'm more of an audiobook person. Or, I'm rereading an old favorite.
What about advice questions? When someone asks, what should I do about this situation?
Advice giving. Be thoughtful. If it were me, I'd... Or, have you considered... That's tough. What are your options? Or, trust your gut on this one.
What about when someone asks, can I get your honest opinion?
Honesty requests need tact. Say, honestly, I think... Or, you want the truth or the nice version? Jokingly. Or, I'd rather be honest than nice, so... Or, in my honest opinion...
What about permission questions? Like, do you mind if I open the window?
Permission responses. Not at all. Go ahead. Or, actually, I'm a bit cold. Or, please do. It's stuffy in here. Or, maybe just a crack?
What about when someone asks, is this seat taken?
Seating questions. Say, no, it's all yours. Or, sorry, I'm saving it for someone. Or, right ahead. Or, it's free.
What about complaint situations? When customer service asks, what seems to be the problem?
Complaint language. Be clear, but polite. I ordered this 3 weeks ago and it still hasn't arrived. Or, this isn't what I ordered. Or, the product is defective. Or, I'd like to speak to a manager, please.
What about when they ask, how can we make this right?
Resolution questions. State your expectations. I'd like a refund. Or,
can you send a replacement? Or a discount on my next order would be fair. Or just want to make sure this doesn't happen again.
What about apology situations? When you need to say sorry and someone asks, what happened?
Apology explanations. Be sincere. I completely lost track of time. Or it was my mistake. I misunderstood. Or there's no excuse. I should have called. Or I take full responsibility.
What about when someone asks, are we okay after an argument?
Reconciliation. Respond warmly. Yeah, we're good. Or I'm still a bit upset, but we'll be fine. Or, of course, let's move past it. Or I appreciate you asking.
What about celebration questions? How are you celebrating your birthday?
Celebration talk. Share plans. Just a quiet dinner with family. Or throwing a big party. Or I'm taking the day off to relax. Or probably nothing special.
What about when someone asks, did you hear the good news?
News reactions. Show interest. No? What happened? Or, yes, I'm so happy for you. Or, tell me everything. Or, I heard something, but give me details.
What about condolence situations? When someone shares bad news and asks, can you believe it?
Sympathy responses. Be supportive. I'm so sorry to hear that. Or, that's terrible. How are you holding up? Or, I can't imagine what you're going through. Or, is there anything I can do?
What about motivation questions? Do you think I can do this?
Encouragement. Be uplifting. Absolutely. You've got this. Or, it won't be easy, but you're capable. Or, I believe in you. Or, you'll never know unless you try.
Amelia, these 100 question-answer patterns are incredible. I can already imagine using them in so many situations.
That's exactly the point. Real English isn't about perfect grammar in isolation. It's about knowing how to respond naturally in everyday situations.
And these aren't just phrases to memorize, they're patterns I can adapt to different contexts.
Exactly. Once you understand these common question-answer structures, you can mix and match them, add your own personality, and sound genuinely fluent.
I feel so much more confident already. These are situations I face every single day.
And that's what makes this lesson so valuable. We've covered morning routines, workplace conversations, social situations, shopping, dining, health, technology, banking, relationships, travel, and so much more.
I'm definitely going to practice these. Should I write them down or just keep listening?
Both. Listen multiple times to get the pronunciation and rhythm, but also write down the ones most relevant to your daily life and practice them out loud.
What's the best way to remember all these naturally?
Use them. Next time someone asks you a question, instead of giving your usual simple answer, try one of these more natural responses. The more you use them, the more automatic they become.
This has been so helpful. I wish I had learned these question-answer patterns years ago.
Better late than never. And remember, everyone learning English goes through this. Knowing words, but not knowing how to use them in real conversations.
Thank you so much, Amelia. This lesson was packed with practical examples.
My pleasure. And to everyone watching, please drop a comment below telling us which question-answer pair you found most useful. Are you going to use I slept like a log, or I'm swamped right now, or count me in? Let us know.
Yes, and share which situations you struggle with most. We can create more targeted lessons.
Absolutely. If you found this valuable, smash that like button. It really helps other English learners find this content. And subscribe to English Conversation Amelia for more practical lessons like this.
Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new lesson.
And now, before we finish, let's test your learning with a quick quiz. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Question 1. If someone asks, "Did you sleep well?" and you slept very deeply, which expression should you use? A, I slept good. B, I slept like a log. Or C, I slept very much.
That's B. I slept like a log.
Correct. Question 2. When declining a social invitation politely because you're very tired, what should you say? A, I'm beat. B, I'm beaten. Or C, I beat myself.
A, I'm beat.
Perfect. Question 3. When someone asks together or separate at a restaurant and you want to pay for both, you say A, I've got this. B, I take this. Or C, this is mine.
A, I've got this.
Excellent. Question 4. If traffic is very heavy, you say it's A, bumper with bumper. B, bumper to bumper. Or C, bumper by bumper.
B, bumper to bumper.
Amazing. Final question. When you're flexible about a decision and don't have a strong preference, you say A, I'm easy. B, I'm simple. Or C, I'm soft.
A, I'm easy.
Perfect score. See how much you've learned already? Now pause the video and comment your score below. Did you get all 5 correct?
And challenge yourself. Which 3 question-answer pairs from today's lesson will you commit to using this week?
Great idea. Write them in the comments. It creates accountability and helps solidify your learning.
Also, if you have specific situations where you struggle to respond naturally, tell us in the comments and we'll address them in future videos.
Remember, fluency isn't about knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about responding naturally and confidently in common situations.
These 100 question-answer patterns are your foundation for real-world English communication.
So practice them, use them, make mistakes with them, and watch your confidence soar.
We'd love to hear your progress.
Come back and comment in a week telling us how using these patterns changed your English conversations.
And don't forget, language learning is a journey, not a destination. Every conversation is practice, every mistake is a lesson, and every small improvement counts.
Thank you all for watching and being part of the English Conversation Amelia community.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep growing. And remember, comment below with your favorite phrase, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with anyone who's learning English. See you in the next lesson.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy learning.
Bye! And don't forget that quiz. 5 questions. Share your score in the comments right now.